All right, so we're back. Yep.
So what kind of game is this now?
Okay, so this is a game made locally by group called Queen Ship Game Studio. It is a visual novel that explores the concept of agoraphobia, or like fear of crowds and going out and stuff like that.
Gotcha.
So, would you care to give it a try?
It's up to you if you want to.
Once Tara is better at voice acting than I am,
Okay.
so if you want to provide voices, or if you want to
No,
sit here, or do you want to watch it from there?
oh, I'm good where I'm at, I think.
Okay. So, let me lower this so it doesn't block. There we go. Back. So, hidden far from open spaces, buried deep within neat places, carved and cut out happy faces, I beg my soul to rest. Open Spaces is a visual novel intended to serve as an educational tool about anxiety and agoraphobia. The game focuses on community support and cognitive behavior therapy as treatment methods for both of these disorders, although they are by no means the only treatments available to people with these disorders. That is loud in my ears. Many others exist, including medication support groups, dialective behavior therapy, many other techniques in treatment and management. While we intend this game to place symptoms in context to make them clear, the game is not intended to diagnose or treat any psychological or medical disorder. It is not endorsed by the FDA or any other medical or psychological entity or association, and subsequently should be treated as entertainment only. Thank you for playing Open Spaces. So if this looks like a game you might be interested in, it's available on itch.io and a few other places. Please support.
I believe it's under queenshipgames.itch.io.
It is a pretty cool game studio, and they have multiple other game projects related to mental health they want to do. So give them a shout. Okay, who wants to choose our first character?
We should always start with Skylar,
Okay.
is my opinion.
Skylar is a college student majoring in studio arts. They are non-binary and use they/them pronouns. Skylar suffers principally from agoraphobia and secondarily from anxiety. I can't see the chat if someone wants to load it.
Yes, that's a good point. Let me work on that. I have muted my computer, so do not expect surprises.
Okay. Can I expect the unexpected?
Yeah, you can always expect the unexpected. That's the problem with agoraphobia, right? All right, I got the chat open.
Okay.
Let me see if I can also get the restream chat open. For the heck of it. Nope, never mind. That's another day for another time. Oi! I typed it in. Oh, why is our tags... why does Restream do this? Our tags are only says English and IRL. That's not good. Let me try seeing if I can fix that.
Okay. I'm going to continue.
Yep. Sorry, I'm complaining about the smallest things.
It's fine. All right. Continue to Skylar's story. Return to list. Skylar and Jade head to the campus together. So far, the conversation has mostly been one-sided, with Skylar looking down at the pavement, struggling to come up with better responses than a nod or a nah. After a few minutes of walking, Jade breaks into conversation more direct than usual. Tara, are you up for voice acting or?
Jeremy?
What's that? Oh, I'm not a voice actor.
I think they're always two-person dialogues, right?
Yeah, I believe that's how it works.
Okay.
Are you gonna just be the voice? The inside voice of Skyrim? Or, okay, apparently I need to be Jade. So, are you interested in going to the campus social night event downtown tonight? I'm sorry, I have a very low voice. I'm not gonna attempt.
Yep.
I'm not gonna attempt a woman's voice.
What do you think?
Sounds innocent enough, but your choice.
I'll go with maybe.
Last time you did tell me you'd go next time.
Skylar's and Jade's relationship is tenuous, to say the least. Since their freshman year started, Skylar shut themselves off from any developing any sort of new friendship. New people, new places, cuts to change. The very thought made them panic. Jade, after meeting in class, would often try to coax Skylar out of their bubble. Skylar would resist any pressure to get involved in social scenarios. The air would be choking and painful to breathe. Their head would reel, eyes would blur, and their body would shake at even the thought of new situation without any sort of control. Those feelings come up for Skylar again. But they feel Jade is just trying to encourage them, not unlike many of their closest friends and families. But in terms of the campus social night, all right, as long as you could stick with me, all right, but I can't stay for long. Go with this one.
Sweet, I'll take it. I'll pick you up at the place tonight. Your place tonight.
Later, social night. Skylar cringes at the thought. Why did you say yes? As Skylar sits in the bedroom, panic swell as they think of every possible scenario that could go wrong. I know that how that goes. Breathe. Breathe. I'll do something stupid. Breathe. Breathe. I'll say something embarrassing. Maybe I should text Jade and cancel. The phone suddenly rings. Skylar hastily grabs it and answers. If it's Jade, I'll cancel. It's not. Who wants to voice the mom?
Hi, honey. How has your week been? This is what Tara sounds like with a super high-pitched voice.
Skylar masks their panic.
Oh, dear goodness, I caused panic to Skylar. Every time Taro makes a high-pitched voice, a kitten dies.
Yeah. Indicating panic to their mother would often prompt them to give Skylar unhelpful advice, but she would provide it nonetheless. But maybe she would have some good input this time. Not bad. Made a friend.
Oh, that's amazing! See? And you were so worried about that. Do you have any plans for your first weekend away?
My friend Jade is going to campus social night, and I might go with her.
See? You'll have more friends in no time. This is such good news. I'm sure as soon as Mahua walks up here, she'll be very ashamed that Taro is reading through the mom dialogue.
Should I tell her?
I think it's impressive for one.
I don't think I want to go, or yeah, I should be fine.
I mean, I will be honest.
Okay.
I know it can be difficult, honey. It will be okay. Just know you can leave whenever you can, but it's always good to try to at least try. Those are actually kind words.
Yes. I guess that's a good point. I'll see how it goes.
Good. I'm not here.
The room is crowded. Others are chatting amongst themselves, but Skylar can't help but think of all eyes are on them. JD immediately runs over to some friends, leaving Skylar frozen by the door. Skylar spots the snack table and decides to get something to eat and drink. Good place. Highly recommended. One can best avoid talking by scarfing down food. Look around, avoid any eye contact as they pile snacks on their plate. Jade tries to wave them down to come over, but wow, this food is just so breathtaking they can't stop staring at it. Skylar jumps as they feel a hand on their shoulder. Quinn smiles at Skylar, their eyes kind and warm. Skylar has always been comforted by Quinn. They tend to have good sense of reading when someone is having a hard time and do their best to respect that. Quinn notices Skylar staring at the plate, slightly shaking.
Jeremy, come on.
Okay, alright. You're right there. Do you need anything?
That's an amazing Quinn impression.
Well, thank you. Been working on it all night.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go with the honesty route.
Yeah.
Oh, which option was it? Okay. Do you want to step outside for a bit, get some air? Having a rough time?
Quinn manages to give Skylar a sense of comfort. It may be that Quinn is one of the few non-binary people they know, but their presence is also comforting while also not being intrusive or nosy. Rarely is Skylar able to open up, and it's with Quinn. I feel like Jade doesn't listen to me when I tell her I don't like big events like this. I usually like to hang out in small groups, but she says she gets bored. Quinn nods understandingly and just listens. My parents always want me to be more social, get out of the house. It's one thing or another. My mom, she has a set idea who I should be and just tries to keep that up. It's easier to be away from home, but I just feel more alone, and I'm not sure if I like that or not.
Oh, that's me again.
Yes.
Well, I think it's I think it's healthy to be around people. You shouldn't do it if it upsets you. I think you could overcome it with small steps. You have a chance to grow a bit now that you're on your own. But give yourself plenty of time and support.
They both talk for a few hours. The party keeps going behind them. Skylar eventually sees Jade head home on her own, with a slight nod of acknowledgement towards Skylar, giving a passive sense of disappointment. Skylar looks down at their feet. Quinn eventually escorts them home. Nearly 3 million people worldwide have anxiety. Next day, Skylar approaches Jade's front door. She commutes from the home where she grew up, but Skylar would only ever go there to meet up to go out somewhere. Never have they spent time at her house. Jade wasn't expecting their visit, but Skylar felt she was due an apology for leaving the party last night.
So, quick comment. Like, I know that feeling of feeling sorry and that kind of stuff. That's not your responsibility. Whoever actually experiences this kind of thing, It's not your responsibility. Don't feel bad.
Yeah.
Well said.
Knock on the door. A quick shuffling sounds behind the peephole. The door opens. Jade is in her pajamas, her eyes puffy, her hands trying to discreetly hold the tissue. She had been crying. Hey, are you doing okay? How do you read ...
... A review by Jade. Oh no, excuse me. I'm fine. What's up?
She forces a smile, and Skylar clears their throat. I just wanted to apologize for leaving you at the party last night. I should have been honest with you and said I didn't want to go in the first place.
Thank you. It's okay. I have other friends there.
Is that why you're crying? Because of last night?
Let's go to the park.
Okay. Skylar and Jade find a bench in the park on campus to sit at. Jade sits down and takes a deep breath.
It's okay that you didn't want to go hang out with me and my friends last night. It's just frustrating when a cool person I know doesn't want to try to get to know other cool people I know. You know?
Not really.
No, the no? No, no?
Is this one of those I know that you know that I know situations?
But who am I?
Jade snickers at herself for the repetitive no's. Which spot do you want?
Go ahead.
Whichever is easiest to clear.
We may need extra voice acting.
No,
Right now, we are full of guys, which is actually concerning because we have at least one woman and 2 non-binary people to narrate.
I am happy to assist
Right.
as I am able. If we have to crosscast some people, that's fine.
Yeah, let's make Andrew the mom.
Oh, okay.
It is a tradition in theater for crosscasting.
Yes.
Jade snickers at herself for the repetitive no's. I'm sorry, I just feel panicked, or ... So we're currently doing an honesty route.
Mm-hmm. I know. I just wish I knew how to help you. Let's go to the park.
I wish I knew too. I didn't want to upset you. Quinn.
Hey guys.
Skylar and Jade notice Quinn walking up the path. As Quinn approaches, they notice the awkward tension.
How y'all doing?
Jade stands up, trying to discreetly wipe a tear from her eye.
I just wish I knew how to help you. It's not easy being alone. ... Grumble, grumble.
Seeing Quinn, she is trying to hold back tears.
Maybe you'll be a better friend than I can be. Oh.
Before either of them could respond, she heads towards campus. Skylar's heart starts to beat fast. You've disappointed another one. How can anyone ever possibly be your friend? Their heart starts to beat. Tears start to well up. Everyone hates me. All I do is hurt people. I have no control.
Skylar, you alright?
Skylar shakes their head out of daze and see Quinn utterly concerned. They absentmindedly wipe away the tears that formed on their face.
You really don't look good. Have you thought of getting help about this?
I'm giving you the brief pause. The three dots
He
represent.
provides a pregnant pause.
Yes. In script writing, it's known as a beat.
Gotcha.
Alright, so our options now are no Jada tried. I should really attempt to get through this on my own. It can't be this hard, right? Would that even help? Or that might be a good idea.
Did you really suggest we try to get through this on our own?
I don't think so. It might be how they're interpreting it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with this one. Here, I'll give you a name of my
No,
therapist.
no. Why Skylar is talking as Quinn?
Oh,
Stop.
sorry. Go, Quinn.
Okay, my bad. I mean, here, I'll give you the name of my therapist. I definitely recommend him.
A few days later, Skylar walks into
I
Doctor.
know this office. I know this office too, on top of that.
Oh, yeah?
Yes.
It's neat and bright. Smells slightly of freshly printed paper. He initially is sitting at the desk sorting papers. When he notices Skylar walking in, he stands up. Who wants to be Dr. Omiya?
Are we really not going to have Taro voice act the person with his name?
I mean, I don't want to spur a voice roll, but really? I mean,
I'll go one octave deeper. Come in, come in.
Two soft chairs sit across from each other, and Dr. Omiya takes a seat. Skylar sits across from him. He asks Skylar introductory questions and about the symptoms they've been experiencing. In their first session, Skylar is encouraged to be open and honest about their feelings, and to not hesitate to ask any questions about what they expect to in therapy. Do you have anything on the chat before I continue?
I don't think so. No.
Okay.
I know that therapy, I know that therapy is never a quick fix.
I wonder if that's standard, or is it just us? Like we automatically add words that we assume should be there, even though they're not.
It is important to continue to take steps, even if they are small. You should definitely give yourself a pat on the back, though, because just being here is a big step. There are always going to be days when you feel down, but know that those days never last forever. I understand you deal with anxiety, and I believe, from what you've told me, that you experience agoraphobia often. What is important in these situations is to breathe when you start to feel panicked. We can work together on management skills when you're in anxious situations. It is important not to avoid the situations outright, but also important to not overwhelm yourself. Ease yourself into it, and keep a trusting support system close. Most importantly, take care of yourself. From healthy food to proper sleep, there are many ways to manage your anxiety. Remember, nothing is ever impossible. I have never been this eloquent before. In all seriousness, they only took from the developers. They only took my name, and I gave them permission to do so. But I had no say in what the actual dialogue came out of it. So before anyone tells me, "Oh, this game was trying to make me look good" or anything like that, I literally have no hand or control over the game whatsoever, other than giving them permission to use my name. I just want to be transparent about that.
Understandable.
Yeah, I was going to ask. I assume that. I mean, you just cleared it up, but. Oh. Yeah, I was going to ask. You kind of cleared that question up for me, but I was going to ask that I assume that character was probably named after you.
Yes.
But.
Yeah, no, they did ask for permission, like I said. And I said, yeah, go ahead. I'm not too concerned. They did also clarify that I was going to be my character was going to be positively represented. I say my character; it's not my character at all. I didn't design them.
Yeah.
Your namesake.
My
Yes.
namesake character. But yeah, so regardless. But yeah, no. Those are all like fantastic advice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would not have said it because I'm nowhere near as eloquent or as good of a writer. So the real version of me is nowhere near as clear or as straightforward. I'm always meandering and digressing, and I will say a lot.
Yeah.
Hey, at least I gave you a doctorate.
So I walked in here offering to take a voice casting role, at which point I immediately punted one to you. So do you want to hand me one? I figured I'd offer.
Well, I thought you were gonna be the mom at one point.
That's right, I am going to be the mom.
The mom hasn't come back into the story yet.
I don't think the mom comes back into the story at all after this, but I might be wrong.
I'm just saying, feel free to punt another role toward me, is all I'm saying.
Okay.
I'm gonna be able to take over for me. I think I actually have to get going a bit like.
Yeah, Quinn has quite a lot of lines after this.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you want to take over Quinn? For Quinn.
I can do that.
Okay. Yeah, I accept it.
Yeah.
Thank you for joining us.
I'll see you around.
I know this is not nearly as fun as voice acting Doki Doki Literature Club.
Dum da da dum da 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 dum.
But at least that was a game we can make fun of. This is a game that's a lot harder to make fun
Yes.
of for an obvious reason. And to be clear, like the content is really good, so I really don't want to.
Well, if you're gonna be making fun of it, do it in good taste.
Right.
Well, Doki Doki Literature Club is sort of half a comedy anyway.
Yeah. But something I thought of this morning, that I wanted to see if we can do next year, since this is our anniversary weekend. We put spots together of games that were released within the previous year that we have some kind of connection with, such as Open Spaces.
Oh, that'd be cool.
So, anyway, back to the story. A few weeks later, the phone rings. It's Quinn.
Hey, how are you doing? How was your first appointment with Dr. Omiya?
It wasn't bad. I'm going to start seeing him weekly. I feel things will be a bit more manageable as I keep going, but so far it's a little hard. I did learn some tips for now that will hopefully help.
Glad to hear it. I'm having a birthday party on Saturday if you're up for it.
Okay, I only
You
have
don't
one
have
option.
a choice.
You know what? That sounds good. I'll be there.
Awesome. I'll see you then.
Saturday night rolls around and Skylar.
What kind of party is this?
It's a rave.
Yeah.
Quinn has great taste.
Saturday rolls around and Skylar finds themselves in a familiar, uncomfortable predicament. And there is dread as Skylar enters, but Quinn greets them with a smile.
Hey, Skylar. I'm really glad you made it. I know it must be tough, but I'm really glad you like Dr. Omiya, and I'm looking forward to seeing you get better. I think Jade is here somewhere if you wanted to say hi.
Skylar searches the crowd and spots Jade. Jade notices, gives an excited wave. She seems to have had a few drinks. Hey Jade, you're having a good time? I think you're going to need to be slightly inebriated when you talk
Yeah.
for this.
Oh. So, yeah. We try to keep the language PG-13 here. Yeah. You here to have some fun too? Here, let me get you a drink.
So I mean, for PG-13, we can substitute hex for hell. I mean for. I'm so bad at this.
Yeah.
She speaks. Oh.
Oh, sorry. I didn't realize it was narrator. She speaks unnecessarily loud and runs to get Skylar's drink before they can say anything.
Drink up!
Skylar stares at the swirly pink foamy mix in the cup. I'm not familiar with alcohol, but whatever.
I have no idea what drink that is.
Yeah,
Right.
it smells fruity. Jade, I really don't drink. Same.
What? Come on! It would relax you so much.
Oh, Jade is really not helpful.
Yeah,
This is a perfect character for me to voice act. I get to be the exact opposite of Dr. Omiya.
Both extremes.
yes. It just makes me uncomfortable to be drunk or even buzzed. I appreciate it though.
The real life Taro Omiya, for the record, actually does not drink.
Neither do I. Jade looks irritated. Her voice gets even louder, causing some attention.
Why do you have to be like this, huh? Come on, I'm only trying to help.
The attention causes Skylar some anxiety.
It should. That help was
Uh-oh.
really long.
Yep.
Uh-oh.
Taking a deep breath, Skylar moves closer to Jade. Is it alright if we talk outside? Jade sighs and follows Skylar out to the front porch.
That joke earlier was in bad taste. I apologize. But yeah, no, that I can definitely imagine this causing a lot of anxiety. So apologies.
I mean, having an inebriated friend pressure you to drink when you don't want to is
Right? Yeah, that's a very bad situation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you know, because they're drunk, they say some drunk. We don't even know if she's actually drunk, but anyways, because she's tipsy, like she says a lot of things very loudly or bringing attention to situations. Like that's not an excuse.
It's part of the effect alcohol has on a person. They lower the inhibitions. And you make poor judgment.
Yeah, no, that like my previous joke of the help thing was in poor taste. So again,
Yeah.
I apologize. That was this is obviously a very serious problem, and I made it a lot less serious than it should be taken.
It happens. Well, at least you're apologizing, but
Right?
it's. Anyway, shall we continue?
Yeah.
There is an awkward silence between them, and Skylar isn't sure how to start. But they know they have to say something. Jade, sometimes I feel you don't really listen to me. Jade's feature softens. She glances down. I'm going through a lot right now, and I'm trying my best. But it's hard when I feel attention is on me, and I'm in a situation I feel I can't control. It was hard even getting up this morning. You're a good friend, and I want to support you need. I want to be the support you need, but I need your support too.
That's an awesome line. Thanks, Skylar.
Unexpectedly, Jade seems to sober up. Tess was one of the writers on this, right?
Right. Yep.
Okay.
Tess and Mahua and Muse as well, I think, contributed.
Jade seems to sober up.
I didn't realize. I'm sorry. I probably made a scene back there and shouldn't have. I do need to be a bit more conscious about my behavior. You're a good listener, and I should at least do the same for you.
We're making progress. Quinn appears at the front door with another woman standing behind them.
Beside them.
Is everything
Besides
all
the-
right?
Yeah, I think so. Jade, without a word, gives Skylar a hug.
I'll try to be better.
Jade lets them go. They both turn to Quinn.
That's good to hear. This is Jess, by the way.
What's on touch?
Hi, Jess.
It seems I have intruded on a tender moment.
The group chuckles and re-enters the party. Though silent most of the time, Skylar takes deep breaths and enjoys the company of good friends surrounding them.
I think we should all get together sometime. A small gathering or something, nothing big. Sometimes large parties can be a bit much.
This is a wise person.
I'm also a little bit confused. I'm also a little bit confused as to how how something like this could be taking place in what's presumably a house if there's a front porch.
Look, some people just have their homes set up to run a rave at any moment, all right?
I'd like that.
Yes.
I'd like that.
Ryan, I think you're, as the voice actor behind Quinn, I have to say, I think you're underestimating the extent to which Quinn is ready to party at any moment.
Yeah. And she's able to cater towards multiple demographics.
Skylar?
Of course.
Hells yeah. Oh, sorry.
That's Hex, yeah.
Yes, hex yeah. I'm a bit of a tabletop gamer.
Oh my god.
Did you want to come to my place to play something tomorrow?
They all agree and set plans. Any tension Skylar felt earlier seems to ease. This may not be a bad night after all. Skylar continued with the therapy with Dr. Omiya, and their friendship with Jade deepened.
Oh, that's good to hear.
Large gatherings were difficult, but Skylar's closest friends, especially Quinn and Jade, were accepting of this, and social nights were mostly binging favorite shows, playing tabletop games, and studying for exams together. By opening up to their friends, Skylar understood that while it may be a long road ahead of them, it's okay to take their time in what is understanding a difficult battle. There are dips, deep, dark pits of despair that may feel impossible to climb out of, but eventually the climb will be successfully made. There is nothing wrong with wanting time for yourself. Self-care is important and can lead to healthy and happy relationships with yourself and those around you. Never feel that you need to isolate yourself. Know that there are people out there who love you and will support you no matter what. Thank you for playing Open Spaces. Alright.
Cool.
Yeah,
Do we want to go for one more dialogue? Because we have about 20 minutes.
sure. And then
But go on.
I was going to say, and then in my schedule, we were going to play a game of a friend of mine called Soko Banish.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Does anybody want to take over the driver's seat? I got to use the restroom.
I have an email to write, so it's going to take me a while.
Let's see. I'm assuming we only have done Skylar so far. Okay, so I guess let's do Walter. Walter is an older African-American male. He dresses simply, but does his absolute best to stay clean and tidy despite being unhoused. He is quiet and thoughtful and listens more than he speaks, but when he speaks, he has plenty to say.
So, we're going to have to somehow voice act Walter. But
Well, I think that, Ryan, you're narrating.
Yep.
So I guess it makes sense for me to do Walter, and I'll just use a normal voice.
cool.
Is that acceptable to everyone?
I think that's acceptable
Okay.
at this point. We shouldn't try pretending.
Walter and Davis are exiting the city library. Both men are highly fond of reading, and sometimes they attend group discussions or classes there together. Today, however, they are both carrying cotton reusable bags laden with books. While Davis is younger than Walter, they have formed an intense bond. Books of classic and contemporary poetry fill Walter's library bag, mostly by African American authors.
So we need a Davis.
Hey, you have an appointment with Pamela tonight, don't you? Don't you, pardon me.
Walter nods.
Want me to take you over?
Walter smiles, nodding. Davis grins.
Come on, let's go.
They get into Davis's car. Walter still wears a bit of a smile on his face, for he's extraordinarily proud of his young friend. The two met several years before when adverse circumstances landed them in the same shelter in Chicago's near West Side. Walter was both a mentor and protector to Davis, who was absolutely terrified about his circumstances and was sometimes bullied by the other residents. Now they are inseparable friends and help one another as best as they can. Davis starts up the car.
Man, I wish you'd let her find you some housing.
Ellipsis.
Why don't you want to leave the camp?
You know why.
After Davis found housing, Walter chose to leave the shelter and put his survival skills to work. He established a camp in the La Ba woods of Chicago, and because he is so quiet and unobtrusive, the police rarely bother him. A government program provided him with a phone to keep in regular contact with the outside world, but aside from that, he has no real foothold in the civilization surrounding him.
Don't you want to have some kind of life? What kind of future can you have living in the woods, man?
Walter sighs,
I don't
and
even-
Davis backs off.
Pardon me, I don't even know what accent I'm going for with this.
Me neither.
The smile on the face makes me think like maybe this is the specific character accent I should go, but I apologize if I'm if I'm accidentally appropriating something and I haven't realized it. I'm sorry, I just worry about you. You're my best friend, you know.
Walter smiles.
I'm glad we're friends.
Walter stares out at the passing asphalt.
You know, I don't know what I want anymore. I just want to be safe. It's easy to be safe out in the woods. People aren't safe.
He has a point. Maybe you should talk to someone about that, huh?
Walter just looks out the window, contemplating Davis's words. Walter and Pamela sit across from each other in two cushy chairs in her office. Pamela scratches words in a leather-bound notebook that sits on her lap. She starts speaking without looking up.
Oh, we need a new voice.
Walter, I gotta talk about something with you.
Like what?
We gotta talk about why you don't want to transition into housing.
Ellipsis.
Walter, look at me for a second.
Walter looks at her, his downward face tense and serious, his posture slouched. He always knows what's coming.
You can talk to me. I've been your caseworker for so long, you can trust me. What's got you scared? So scared.
Walter leans forward, placing his elbows on his knees and his face in his hands.
I just can't trust anyone, Pammy. People are so dang hurtful. Again, we're trying to keep this PG. I'm afraid of being around them.
Not me. Not Davis.
You're different.
How do you know other people aren't different? It ain't normal to be so afraid, Walt. You know that.
Walter sighs deeply and leans back in his chair.
I don't know how to stop being afraid. Every time I'm around the city, I get anxious. Out there, I know what I'm doing, you know?
You ain't always lived like this. You know how to live around other people. You got to figure out how to stop being afraid, Walter.
Ellipsis.
Pamela reaches out and rests her hand on his arm.
I just want you to have a happy life, Walt. I want you to have friends, a job. Heck. I want to see you go out and take a gal on a date.
Walter laughs merrily at that, and Pamela laughs as well. Pamela lifts her hand and leans back in her seat.
The curse word gods are going to darn us to heck.
Are we going to be demonetized?
We're not monetized in the first place.
Are you willing to see someone about this?
Ooh.
All right, driver, what do you choose?
Okay, do we want to go for the like get help and play along route, or do we want to go for the be obstinate and continue not to trust people route?
I think what he's pointing at you for to do the voice.
Well, I'm fine with either.
I'm asking for us to have a discussion about which
Yes.
route we want to choose.
Was there a route that was chosen last time?
Honesty route. I'm still inclined to see what the honesty route looks like on this one because Walter's situation is really fascinating to me.
So would you call the honesty route the like okay, let's accept help route?
Yeah.
Okay.
But like I said, that's just me.
You're the only person expressing a preference, so I think we're going to go with your preference.
Yeah.
I mean, it is a valid route in the game, right?
Yes.
So,
And the entire purpose of this type of game is to explore the routes,
Yeah.
see where they lead.
so I will read the second option. Ellipsis. Yeah, maybe I should.
Okay. I'll give you the contact information of Dr.
Dr. Omiya is just getting a ton of business.
And meanwhile, we have the game, Dr. Omiya.
Really contributing to the community around him.
He specializes in anxiety treatment. Combat vet.
He's ex-military.
U.S. Marine Corps. He lost a leg in Afghanistan.
Oh, that's right. Isn't Walter a veteran?
I believe that was specified.
Yeah.
Where's the prosthetic?
Sorry.
Darn good at his job.
There we go. We did it, guys.
Yeah.
We did it, Reddit.
Interesting.
Pamela writes down the information for Dr. Omiya's office and gives it to Walter, who takes it.
Give him a call. I know he'll take you on as a patient. I've already talked to him about it, the insurance coverage, and the agency put you on theirs.
Okay. Thanks, Pammy. I have a question. Does Skylar's story take place in the same city as Walter's?
I would imagine.
I'm just curious if Dr. Omiya, like, is in every city.
Yeah.
You know,
Telemedicine is a thing these days.
I suppose.
However, at the same time,
Not
he
that
was
it-
in his office last
Not
time,
that it
so...
would matter, right? This detail would not matter at all. I'm just curious.
Are you saying that Dr. Omiya is actually the garbage man from Dilbert?
I was more implying that perhaps Dr. Omiya is like an Officer Jenny situation from Pokemon, where there's just like 30 of him around different cities.
Or what about Agent Crawler in Psychonauts?
Yeah, that's it.
He gets up to leave, shouldering his pack and satchel, and trudges out, already deep in his own thoughts. Pamela watches him go before turning back to her desk with a sigh and resuming her paperwork. Walter's at his camp. The camp is small but tidy, A small tent pitched and a latrine dug downwind of it. A water bucket nearly full sits near the latrine, and Walter's canvas knapsack sits by the entrance of the tent. It is near sunset. A small but merrily crackling fire burns in a stone-ringed fireplace. He sits on an upright log section, stirring something in a pot over the fire. You ain't never gonna be normal again.
Oh, I guess that's something I should read.
Yeah.
Because it's
I
his
have no-
internal monologue, right?
Mhm.
I'm not sure if it's an internal monologue or if it's more just a voice speaking to him.
It has to be an internal monologue. I mean, that's usually what italics means in these novels, as far as my experience goes.
I mean, wouldn't any voices in a person's head often sound like theirs? I'm probably completely wrong on that.
Not
but-
sure.
Anyway, you ain't ever gonna be normal again.
Walter covers his face, putting the spoon down. When that voice enters his mind, it's hard to shake off.
You can't trust anyone. They all know how to hurt you.
Oh gosh.
They know how to hurt everyone. You've seen it. You know.
You've seen it part really hurts, but this is far deeper than I expected.
The sound on this is really creepy-ish and stuff too, so. Walter moans and rises to his feet, pacing around the fire. Whatever he's cooking begins to burn.
No, stop it.
He abruptly stops pacing, smelling the burning dish in the fireplace.
Snap.
Dang. Darn.
Yeah, go
Who?
on.
Snap.
No, I was going to go on to rise.
He retrieves the pot from the fireplace and peers into it. Cursing again, he carries it to the latrine and scrapes the mess into it before returning to his seat on the log.
So we have, maybe I should call that Dr. Omiya Pammy was talking about. And we have, I gotta snap out of it. I survived Dolores leaving, and I can survive this.
Well, you
Well, I
know
think
my
we're-
opinion.
We're going for the, see the therapist and get help route. So I feel like we should see the therapist and get help.
Always a good advice, by the way, in real world, if you can afford it.
Oops, let me-
Unfortunately, the if you can afford it kind of matters more to a lot of people.
Maybe I should call that Dr. Omiya Pammy was talking about.
Walter makes no move to make something else to eat. He stares into the fireplace, contemplating his thoughts until finally, as it begins to grow to full dark, he puts the fire out and retires to his tent, taking his knapsack with him. Anxiety can be treated with cognitive
Oh,
That's annoying.
would you like to...
Anxiety can be treated with cognitive behavioral... Okay, yeah, I don't think I'm going to be able to read that.
Do you think maybe that's just like a citation?
Yeah.
But wait, with the power of streaming... Oh, whoops, I didn't pause at the right place. Darn
Well,
it.
we did it twice, so it's possible you're still going to see it.
Nope, never mind. It's stuck.
Ah, well.
Or I can do it again.
No, let's go to the YouTube stream.
Clinic. Oh, I thought we were just going to look up the website they cited.
No, the YouTube live stream should be in DVR mode.
Yes.
Yep.
Oh,
All right, here we go. Anxiety can be treated with cognitive behavioral, that is, talk, therapy, and drug therapies. Individualized self-care routines, such as physical activity, healthy eating, sleep hygiene, and more, may also help manage or alleviate symptoms. Quote, Mayo Clinic.
Walter enters Dr. Omiya's office. It is calm and tastefully furnished, with several plants and art prints decorating it. Walter checks in with the receptionist, but does not sit at her invitation, opting instead to stand against the wall opposite the front door. Eventually, Dr. Omiya calls him in, leading him down a short corridor to his rather spacious office, decorated similarly to the reception area, with solid wood furniture and a sky blue carpet. The curtains on the windows open to the sunny day outside.
Would you like to sit? Oh, wait, I'm supposed to be one octave deeper. Would you like to sit down?
Walter looks around the office and the several chairs circled around the small wood coffee table. He chooses one with his back to the wall, folding his hands in his lap and looking curiously at Dr. Omiya.
I got a little bit of info from your caseworker, but I want you to tell me about yourself.
Oh boy. What kind of info?
That you're struggling in various areas of your life, and that she'd like to see you do better.
Ellipsis.
I'm not going to force you to talk to me, though. I'm just here to try to help.
Dr. Omiya crosses his legs, lounging in his chair a bit. He picks up a pen and writes in his notepad.
Scribble, scribble.
Never did understand that.
What?
Why psychs always write things down?
When you say psychs, do you mean mental health professionals?
Yes.
It's just like when you go for a checkup and they take notes on what you tell them. It helps me do a better job of helping you when you're here, because if I don't remember everything you tell me, I can't make suggestions that make sense.
Walter considers this and nods.
Is it all right with you if I take notes?
That's fine.
Thank you. So, tell me about yourself.
Walter looks at him for another long moment. Dr. Omiya does not shrink or fidget under his gaze. Just looks placidly back at him. Something in his face tells Walter that he can talk to him.
It's the war veteran thing.
Ooh.
All in.
I'm just gonna start at the beginning.
Start wherever makes most sense.
Walter tells him about the farm he grew up on and later owned. By the time he'd finished high school, his mother had passed away, and his father relied on him to take care of his two younger siblings. When he was in his junior year of college, his father passed too, having fallen victim to his alcoholism.
Gosh darn.
Walter made the best of it, and not only graduated with a degree in agricultural science, but saw both his siblings off to college as well.
That's amazing.
Yep.
That's actually really awesome.
That's impressive.
Mm-hmm.
In his mid-20s, he met Dolores, and within a few years they were married. But his experiences, both within his family and in the broader world, had sown seeds of doubt, anxiety, and despair, and his marriage suffered. Eventually, Dolores left him, and as Walter grew sicker, he became unable to work, eventually losing the farm and drifting into the nearby city of Chicago.
And that's where we are now.
Walter sits with his hands clasped in front of him, looking down.
Do you have any children?
No. Dolores wanted them, but I was afraid that what happened to me and my little brother and sister would happen to them too.
Why?
I don't know. Am I supposed to know?
I hope that you will eventually. That's why the whys help us translate the hows of treatment.
That makes sense.
How do you spell whys?
WHYS.
Huh.
Sometimes
It was spelled
people
like that
use
right
an
there.
apostrophe there.
Yeah.
But an apostrophe specifies ownership.
So,
That would be the case if English were ever consistent.
So it's been forever since we read the chat, but I should probably do that. From Nonaga Games, glad I got to hear the ending of Skylar's story. Listened on the way home. Was fun hanging out with you all. And then at one point, the curse words, quote unquote, ha ha ha. Sorry, I think we needed that after that very deep therapy discussion.
Those dang words.
Gosh darn it. So, yes. It is probably a good idea for me to get a cup of water at some point. But yes, Walter.
Walter enters a large church for the evening meal that they serve there. Unexpectedly, he sees Davis and waves to his friend. Davis walks up and hugs him.
What you doing here?
Just wanted to catch up. You doing okay?
I'm all right.
Great. Let's get some food.
Walter and Davis get in line together.
I know that church now that I think of it.
Oh, yep. A few of the other attendees greet them both, all smiles and handshakes. Walter smiles a little to himself.
What are you thinking about?
Walter smiles at his friend.
He double smiles.
Food lessens all heartache.
Davis grins.
Too true. Yum.
A young person from the university, Quinn, is serving at the
Oh,
front.
but it is in the same city.
I wonder if some of the other narratives actually tie
So
other stories together.
So they all take place in Chicago.
Okay.
But we know where this church is, and it's not in Chicago.
It's 2 blocks away from us.
What are you guys? That could be any church. Okay. I mean, who knows? All right.
Look, I know the office is the West Hall. Dr. Omiya's office is in the West Hall.
Tara, there are many West Halls. Okay. West is just a direction. All right. That's definitely not the name of a particular building on a particular campus. All right.
Oh, right.
There are multiple campuses in Troy.
These are all painted. They're not photographs of real places. And not at all ran through a Photoshop filter. No, I'm not making fun of people that way. In all seriousness, like, it's fine, you know. The story's fine. We're just making fun of the fact that the pictures are clearly stuff that we're familiar with.
Inside jokes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's also artistic license.
Right, yeah. I mean, honestly, like, I would say a lot of these images don't look out of place from Chicago anyways. They probably wouldn't look out of place from any cities in upstate New York.
You know, in all seriousness, I think that's the church around here that actually does do like free lunches.
Yeah,
right?
that too.
So that is kind of appropriate, actually.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I already read this, I think. Yeah.
Who wants to voice Quinn?
I mean, we've
Jeremy's
already.
gone.
No, I was doing Quinn before. No, I wasn't. I was doing what's her name? Was it Quinn? I think
think
it was
you were
Quinn.
doing Quinn.
Yeah. Quinn is still casted. I don't know. What you're talking
Or do we want to run over across the street and grab Quinn?
That would be way too convenient. But not
We already have a actual Omiya, so
not appropriate in my opinion.
okay.
Hey there, Quinn. How you doing?
Quinn looks up and excitedly grins.
Walter, Davis, how are you both?
Doing good?
You okay these days, Walter?
Quinn is one of the few people with whom Walter has discussed his past. They are easy to talk to as well as kind, and Walter feels at ease with few people besides Davis and Pamela. Still, Quinn has a kind of safety about them that Walter feels at ease with, and they know a fair bit of Walter's story and current circumstances.
Been doing a lot of thinking. The good kind, I hope. Mostly. Good. Let's chat later if you have a few, all right?
To be clear, the reason why we're laughing is that Andrew's doing both sides of the conversation
Yes.
here,
Yeah,
so
it just does not sound right. It sounds like you're talking out a mirror.
or like the chess game in that one Pixar short where it's the old man playing against himself.
Hello, me. Yes, hello, other me. How are you? I'm good, thank you very much. Anyway,
That's a good Davis impression.
I already read this.
Oh, you read this
Yeah.
one?
He did.
Oh.
You got it, kid.
Quinn prepares them both trays and hands them over with a smile.
Oh, so are they a volunteer? Interesting.
Yeah, it seems like Quinn volunteers. That's pretty cool.
Yeah,
Enjoy
I
your
described
meal,
that earlier. The two men nod and smile to them and go take a seat.
How'd your appointment go? Excuse me. How'd your appointment with Pamela go?
It went all right. I misread that and thought that your line was "How'd the disappointment go?" that's not what the novel said though.
What'd she say?
I assume we are going with honesty.
I guess we're going with honesty, but I want to state for the record that I don't know if I would share this with Davis.
Yeah, neither would I.
Yeah.
Do we want to go back and change that then?
I guess we'll keep doing this, but you know, he's just a bit.
You're the pilot, anyways.
He's
I
a bit
thought,
excitable.
I thought we were
you know?
making decisions as a group, all things considered.
No, you're the one final choice maker.
You have tyrannical authority over where we go in this novel, Ryan.
Okay, in which case I say we start from the end and work our way to the beginning.
So you need to understand. You need to understand that we can make a coup. You know.
We should try hurrying up because there's a.
Okay. Can I eat Davis?
Davis laughs.
Sure, have at it.
The two friends pass the meal in companionable silence until Quinn approaches.
Hey, you two.
Quinn carries their own tray and joins the two of them at the table.
Oh, that's not hey, you two. That's hey, you two.
I don't know why you bother eating with us plebs every night, Quinn.
Plebs.
Quinn laughs.
Ha ha ha. I guess it helps me stay connected. How's school, kid? It's going well. I'll graduate next year.
Quinn grins a little bashfully.
That's great. I'm really happy to hear that. You have a degree in agricultural science, right, Walt?
Walter nods.
There was a guy who came in to talk to us the other day about tech and agriculture. He mentioned his company was looking for someone who spoke at least one language besides English and had a degree in agriculture or a related field. I thought of you right away, so I asked him for a card.
Quinn looks at Walter, a little uncomfortably.
I hope you don't mind that I did.
Davis is watching the exchange with his eyebrows slightly raised.
No, I don't mind. Do you have the card?
Quinn reaches into their jumper pocket and hands it to him. Walter looks it over.
Thanks, Quinn. No problem.
Davis escorts Walter back to his camp, and Walter kindles a fire. It's full dark, but the men take their ease by the campfire.
Ain't been out here in a while. The cops bother you still?
Not anymore. Pretty surprising.
I'd say that's good though.
Walter nods, stretching his legs.
You gonna call about that job?
Walter pauses for a long moment, thinking over the question. He thinks about what it means to have a job again, to be earning a regular paycheck, the idea of putting his skills to work again. Then, all at once, the obstacles crowd in on him.
Yeah, I figured.
How is he going to get clothes fit for an interview anywhere? How is he going to get a resume done? How? How? How?
His brain howls with it. You can't do it. You can't. You just can't.
Oh, I've been there.
What are you thinking? You with a fancy office job after all these years? You can't be serious.
Walter holds his head in his hands. Breathe. Breathe.
You should just give up.
Breathe.
Breathe.
Davis reaches out and grasps his friend's shoulders.
You can do this, Walt. I know you can.
Walter looks up and sees the friendly face of his best friend looking at him with concern.
Oh, I actually got that in character. That's good.
Yes. It fills him with a sudden strength. All in.
All in! Yeah, I'll give it a try.
Interesting.
Davis whoops out loud and laughs happily.
That's great. Let me help you get ready, huh?
Sort of want to hear Tara.
We'll go grab you some interview clothes, and I'll help you with your resume and everything.
Really? You do that?
Listen, man. I want you to visit in an apartment, not at a camp. I want you to have a life you want. I know it ain't this.
Walter looks thoughtful.
I'm slowly growing a southern drawl. You're right.
They're all upstate New Yorkers.
Yeah, there's no reason there'd be a southern drawl there.
I mean, Walter, we know in character is fairly quiet.
I mean, to be fair, anytime I speak lazily, I end up like sounding like I have a southern drawl just because it's so fun to talk that way. But anyway.
I forget you said this.
Oh, you're right.
Davis smiles happily.
Meet me at the library tomorrow and we'll get it going. Just make sure you call, okay?
I will.
Davis eventually heads home, leaving Walter looking into the fire, lost in thought. Walter gets up the next morning and looks thoughtfully at his phone. Make the call.
Make the call. You can do this. You gotta start somewhere.
Yeah.
Walter calls the number on the business card that Quinn gave him. The voice of a young man
Oh.
answers.
Okay, I thought we were gonna call his friend.
Me too.
This is not where I thought we were going, but okay.
Leeway.
Oh, that's the other character.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hello, this is Leeway.
Hi, Lee Wei. My name is Walter Williams. I heard that your company was looking for someone multilingual with a background in agriculture.
Yes, we are. May I ask what your specializations are?
Walter explains that he has a degree in agricultural science and speaks not only English, but Spanish and Mandarin Chinese.
Wow.
I have taken intro courses in both of those languages. Chinese is really hard.
Yeah.
Mandarin is. Yeah, no, I would expect it. So.
Yeah,
I heard that despite Japanese language stealing a lot from Chinese, it is also exceedingly difficult for a Chinese person to learn Japanese and vice versa.
There was
Yeah.
a Japanese kid in our class who spoke and wrote Japanese, and he did not have a fun time.
Yeah, I know there's a public high school around here that their only foreign language is Mandarin.
Ooh, boy, that's tough.
Anyways,
Li Wei switches to Mandarin, and Walter converses with him in the same tongue for several minutes about the company and a few notable things about the job.
Okay, I thought I was gonna have to read in Mandarin. I would love to meet you. Are you available this Friday at any point?
I'd be glad to.
It's 10 a.m., all right?
Perfectly.
Li Wei relays location information, and the two say goodbye and hang up.
Okay. How much time did we give ourselves to prepare for this? Oh
If,
boy!
if they're like me, it won't be enough.
If they're like Lee Wei, probably also
Again, it's also possible that we had like a time jump or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Walter sets his phone down and grins, too pleased for once to allow the specter in his head any room. Oh wow, okay. Alright. And we're at
Wait a
the
minute.
interview.
isn't this
Welcome to the interview.
Isn't this the same picture that we used for Dr. Omiya's office?
No.
Oh, it seems really familiar, but it's probably just because it's the same general location.
It is the same general location.
Right, I know. You just said that.
But Omiya's office
away.
Omiya's office has the door on the left side, right?
Got
With like
it.
the desk across and like the one kind of awful chair.
No,
on the
I
left
thought this
side.
was like the reception area.
Oh, well, I haven't seen an image with that yet, so maybe I don't know. I don't
Okay.
remember seeing this before, but who knows?
So, just to be clear, if anyone is interested in taking on the RPI's Games and Simulation major, you'll be very familiar with this room very quickly.
Walter enters the front lobby of Agritech's office a few minutes prior to his interview, neatly dressed in khaki slacks, a white shirt, and a red tie, courtesy of Davis having taken him shopping for interview clothes. He carries his customary canvas backpack, having had it washed and dried the night before the interview at Davis's house, and in it are copies of his resume. In a rare circumstance, he'd stayed over at Davis's place so he could take a shower and shave before going to the interview, and Davis had driven him before heading to his own workplace for the day. The receptionist greets him, and Walter smiles, a little nervously.
I have a 10 o'clock appointment with Li Wei.
Of course, I'll show you to his office.
Thank you.
The receptionist leads him down a short corridor of the medium-sized office suite and knocks on the door.
I think, like, if this was a nightmare of mine, the worst thing that could now happen was that there's, like, a doctor's examination room at the end of the hall, right?
Oh, I thought you were going to say, like, some nightmarish professor, like, pops out.
No, professors aren't that scary. They're not that important.
Okay. Dr. Jackson pops out.
No, that especially now that I'm not a student, I live in hope that one day that will happen.
A voice from within answers. The receptionist opens it. Your 10 a.m. is here. Li Wei rises to his feet with a smile.
Walter, please come in.
Walter spends the following hour interviewing with Li Wei. He learns about the mission of the company and the job he would be doing. Specifically, he would be traveling to different farms and agricultural sites, finding out what their needs were, and assisting Li Wei to formulate technological plans for each site to improve crop and food production.
I trust you don't mind getting dirty.
Walter laughs.
Ha! I spent a lot of my time after college up to my knees in mud planting crops and milking cows.
Tell me about your time as a farmer.
Walter hesitates briefly, but tells him about the work he did on his own farm.
I wouldn't describe myself as a technologist, but I was always interested in finding technological solutions that could make my work easier. By the end, I had started in on hydroponics and other automation processes.
That's great. That's a big part of what we helped to build.
Li Wei looks thoughtfully at Walter for a moment.
I'd like to offer you the job, Walter. How soon can you begin? Well, it's sort of a square peg, square hole situation.
Yeah.
Yeah. Although a round peg can usually fit into a square hole.
Yeah.
Well, it depends on the,
Yeah.
diameter of the circle. Walter grins. As soon as you'll have me.
There's a few things I need to do on my end to get you set up for traveling. But can you start training on site on Monday?
Walter hesitates again, but nods.
Great. I'll see you soon.
The two get to their feet and shake hands.
Oh, I almost forgot.
Well,
Uh-oh.
There's a
Oh,
sign-on
never mind.
bonus included with your position. So
Cool.
opposite of what we were thinking.
So I'll have that ready for you when you start training on Monday.
Walter smiles.
That's great. Thank you.
Walter prepares for his new job with Davis's help and thrives in his new duties. While he continues to struggle with his anxiety, he keeps working towards recovery and daily management of his symptoms via a variety of means. He succeeds in acquiring his own apartment, and Davis frequently visits him there. He makes new friends, albeit cautiously, but by continuing to make good decisions that help him stay on the path to wellness, he is able to overcome anxiety's crippling effects. Don't give up. Wellness and management are possible. Thank you for playing.
I'm sort of disappointed that Quinn doesn't have a route. She's connected to two other characters already.
I am also very
And then
disappointed that
away-
we don't go into Quinn's route and discover her deep passion for crazy metal music, right?
In a way, she's actually connected to three characters, considering Li Wei is another character, and she got the card from Li Wei.
Yeah.
Also,
That means she's connected with Jessica somehow, right? We're gonna have
Yeah.
we're gonna have these corkboard and red string.
yeah. Also, referring to Quinn, I said her earlier, and I think they go by they.
Correct.
Let's correct that on the record there.
Yeah. Do you want to do the credits? Or
Sure. Credits. Frederica Edgington Giordano. I probably murdered her name, right?
no, I think that's actually correct.
Okay.
No, that's what I meant when I said well pronounced. I was not being sarcastic.
Oh, awesome. I didn't quite hear you, so I said, oh, so.
No, well pronounced.
Oh, got it. Programming and quality assurance. Tess Wainwright, narrative design, storyboarding, and quality assurance.
Mohua.
Okay.
Peppercorn, I believe, but I might be wrong.
Thank you.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah.
Assistive narrative design and editing. Muse and Lestrala. Composition, assistive narrative design, photography, and quality assurance. Christina Plummer. Character design and illustration. Vid Alliger. Character design and illustration. Jason Harlow. Character design and illustration.
So many artists.
Copyright Queenship Game Studio LLC, 2019, Troy, New York. All rights reserved.
Yay!
Hooray!
We can quit